This is the legendary tale of how darkness cannot snuff out the light. The tale of Fyore, the kind mage. Now where to begin? Ah yes, Chapter 1, An Old Beginning. Fyore, a now old, long, silvery-haired Nord, has unknowingly spent the past 40 years as a mindless thrall to an evil necromancer. Fyore was often used as an errand boy for the necromancer, retrieving goods from nearby towns and villages, since the necromancer was unable to personally stock up on alchemical supplies due to his reputation for trouble and severe bounties across Skyrim. One day, as Fyore, the thrall, was mindlessly chopping firewood in the necromancer's cave, a cold breeze swept down the winding tunnels. The necromancer, focused on practicing his alchemy, did not realize that a vengeful presence had entered his dwelling, a presence even the most perceptive mind would dismiss as a cool breeze. A set of cold eyes and an even colder enchanted blade lie waiting in the darkness, watching the necromancer with bloodlust. It happened fast. The blade was lodged inside the necromancer's chest so deep that the handle was almost completely buried. This was the work of none other than Lunea, the vampire. With the knife in his chest, the necromancer fell to the floor, bloodied by the wound. Suddenly, a small army of skeletons emerged from the earth and seized Lunea, rendering him immobile. The necromancer removed the blade from his chest and reached for his alchemy table, grabbing a dark red phial. Stumbling to his feet, the necromancer uncorked the glass tube and doused Lunea in a poison that makes its victims very weak to fire. Knowing that vampires are already weak to fire, this added poison would make even the smallest candle extremely lethal. As the necromancer took aim at Lunea with his magical fireball spell, the necromancer, though gravely wounded, smiled mockingly at Lunea. Suddenly, a steel axe was swung and tore through the necromancer's neck, causing his head to roll towards the immobile Lunea. As the necromancer's decapitated head came to a stop at Lunea's feet, the necromancer caught a glimpse of a fully conscious Fyore, his former thrall, holding the now bloodied axe he had been using to chop firewood. Horror filled the necromancer's mind as his final moments among the living were spent locking eyes with the man whom he enslaved for over 40 years. Fyore stared deeply into the eyes of the now lifeless, decapitated head, trying to make sense of his current situation. With the necromancer dead, the summoned skeletons immediately turned to ash, freeing Lunea. Fyore, riddled with adrenaline, dropped his axe, wiped the blood from his cheek, and began to vomit, the result of feeling nauseous from the sight of blood and guilt from killing a person. Lunea approached Fyore, reaching out his hand, helping Fyore to his feet. "Thank you," said Fyore. "When you plunged your knife into the necromancer's chest, it temporarily disturbed the magic he used to enthrall me, allowing me to regain consciousness." Lunea, impressed by the clean decapitation, praised Fyore for his timely execution, which ultimately saved them both. Lunea, grabbing the head of the necromancer and placing it into his bag, approached the decapitated corpse and sank his teeth in and drained its remaining blood. Once he curbed his hunger, Lunea explained that despite being a vampire, he had no intention of harming Fyore, and he was merely here to complete a bounty request made by several jarls, as the necromancer had assaulted many civilians as of late. Lunea urged Fyore to flee and not remain near the cave, as the smell of blood may attract foes that do not share his good intentions. Lunea handed Fyore a robe, a map, 1,000 gold coins, and the dagger that was plunged into the necromancer's chest. However, Fyore declined the dagger, saying, "The robes, the gold, and the map is all I need. Thank you." For Fyore was not a violent man. In fact, killing the necromancer continued to make him quite nauseous, despite enduring great abuse from the necromancer. Lunea sheathed the knife and handed Fyore the gold, the map, and the robe. Fyore asked, "Where is the closest city?" Lunea told him to find shelter in Windhelm, as it was very close to their current location. Lunea wished Fyore the best of luck and vanished. Fyore, now alone with his thoughts, tries to piece together fragmented memories and come to terms with his now aged body. Fyore makes his way out of the cave and towards Windhelm to seek refuge and proper company as he processes the trauma of his captivity.